and he was doing his whole like fuckboy like shake hand and moving around and like with his abs fully out or half out with a crop top, like that entire, like, I'm sure he didn't eat for that entire comeback because he was lean and cut. Like,
oh, poor man.
It was wow. But that's what caught our attention, and I saw that and I was like, Laura, have you heard of these Ateez people? This is MIA 2K Podcast, and we are your ticket from Miami to Seoul. We are your pilots, Kathy and Laura, two fun-seeking girls with obsessive fandom tendencies, taking you on a ride through the Hallyu wave from our perspective as opinionated, grown Latina fans from Miami.
Before we close the cabin doors, make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you like to watch, our in-flight podcast video is available on YouTube and Spotify.
Once we reach our cruising altitude, we'll be serving one thing and one thing only, piping hot tea. We're ready to fly into today's topic with our hot and sunny takes.
So fasten your seatbelts, sit back, relax, and prepare for takeoff. Hi, guys.
This is 2020. No, it's not.
This should have happened in 2020.
I mean, the show.
My bad.
This is what happens when we're together. I love it. So yes, today we are recording together. If anyone is listening, that's fine. You don't have to watch today. We're not going to tell you that you have to watch because it's not a show and tell. But if you are watching, hi, we're together. I can touch her.
Hopefully it all works good.
Yeah.
We've done this only a couple times.
Only.
And we've had some
failures. But you know what? When they say everything happens for a reason, it really does.
True.
Those episodes really should have never seen the light of day. So I'm glad that they failed and burned. Truthfully.
So today, we are...
What are we doing today, Laura? Tell us.
We are here to talk about something that we feel needs everyone's attention.
Well... Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll be on board with that.
I think this is something that people overlook, or at least the people that we talk to, follow. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's just there's so many. I think that's what it is.
But that's because talent.
Sure.
And they deserve to be called out for their talent.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So I had been telling Laura that ever since we did the 97 liners episode, I had been feeling like, because she fought me in that episode and was like, but the 94 line is just as good as the 97 line. And I was like, it's very different. Don't compare. It's like apples to oranges. It's not the same thing. But I was like, you know what? Why don't we do every line, or at least most of them? Because we know not all the lines are very populated or have as many idols that are just interesting or that talk to each other or whatever. Like, it just doesn't make sense to do one episode for every single year of the 90s, but we do want to do a few of them for a few of the years that really like stand out. And Laura immediately was like, the 99 line can give the 97 line a run for its money.
Yes, they can.
Now, I will not go that far, but I do like a number of the people in the 99 line that are literally my biases. So like, I'm very much invested in the 99 line for sure. But I also don't know a lot about a lot of people we're going to be talking about today. So it's pretty much Laura going to be running the show, and that's fine. She can tell us all why we need to worship the 99 line.
To be quite honest, I'm not super well versed. Not like I was for the 97 liners. However, I do know a little bit about them, and I do know that there's just a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we talk about the 97 liners, a lot of what we spoke about was not only are they talented, but they also have the visuals, they have the personalities. And I think with the 99 liners, you have the same thing.
I think, again, the 97 line just has more of a reputation because they're friends and they like talk about each other. They hang out with each other. They post pictures with each other. They go to restaurants and sign autographs together from all their different groups. So there's this whole thing about the 97 line actually having a dynamic, which I believe is why people also gravitate aside from like the thirst and just the greatness of all of them.
I just feel like the 99 liners will eventually get there. It's just for the most part, most of the 99 liners are 4th gen.
Yeah.
Some are 3rd gen, but like a lot of them didn't really get to see the light of day until a little bit later.
Yeah. I mean, we went through the K profiles and through a couple of other pages. There's about 40 99 liners.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of people. We're not going to be talking about all 40 of them because, again, I barely know even 3 of the ones that we're going to be talking about today. But the ones that we are talking about, I think definitely do deserve the shout out. They definitely have stood out. And I think a couple of them have been known to be friendly. I mean, literally 5 of them are in one group. So they know each other. They definitely know each other. They are in the group chat together. So there's that. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just jump in and talk about why the 99 line deserves all of our attention.
So before, I guess, we start going individually, so we are going to specifically highlight Dino from 17, Hwiyoung from SF9, Park Jihoon from Solo,
and 101, but Solo,
Kim Yohan from Way, all of Ateez minus 3 members, Changbin, Yeonjun, Mark, Xiaojun, Hendery, and Lucas. So that's like a lot.
Yeah, that's a good number of people, and I think they definitely, there's some potential there for friendliness and hanging out and fuckboyness, you know, at that point in their lives.
A lot of fuckboyness.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh my god. So I think Dino is one of the sunbays in the 99 liners because he debuted with 17 in like 2015, I think it was. So he's been doing this for a little bit. I got into 17 last year quite heavily.
Yeah.
And so I looked, because he's part of my, well, I guess my bias line is like 10 of them.
The entire group.
So, no. It's not the entire group. We will not mention who isn't part of my bias line, but it's not the whole group.
Right.
Let's set that straight.
Right.
But anyway,
I mean, she is OT 13, so please don't come for her rest of Carrotlands people.
Yeah, I mean, I do like them all. They're very talented, but not all of them are in my bias line. Yeah, do I think they could be, or there could be a 17 without the 3 that I love? No, because 17 is all 13 of them. They're just not in my bias line.
Yeah, makes sense.
So Dino is extremely talented. I personally think he has a really beautiful voice. A lot of the highlights of songs tend to be sang by him. I don't know why. A lot of the highlights that I consider are sang by him. Like in, what was that? What's the song called? Manche? Is that how you say that?
Manse?
Manse, eso. His part, so cute. But anyway, he sings really well. He's obviously an amazing performer, and he has the personality of an entertainer.
Yes.
He has been wanting to be an entertainer ever since he was little. Yeah. And I think he achieved it pretty well.
Yeah, he's incredible. His parents are it.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that both of them did dance at some point and still do dance, and now they're showing up for the challenges every comeback. So cute. Is literally life. His grandma, just everyone in that family is so freaking talented. Of course Dino had to be a star. It just was meant to be. For me, I have this whole thing about him that I feel very bad because since he wasn't the original maknae and it was Samuel at first, I feel like they don't treat him like a maknae. And there's this rough housing dynamic between most of the group and him. And I know that it's jokey and for shits and giggles, and they actually do have his back and they love him. But when I see other groups that treat the maknae like the maknae and they don't treat him like that, it makes my heart hurt. So that's my commentary on Dino.
He has been not mistreated, but he's definitely not babied.
Exactly.
Like all of the other maknaes that we know. Right. He isn't the apple of their eye. Right. Maybe he is, but no, he's not.
I feel like Sam had that place, and especially because he was that much more younger. So yeah, I don't think Dino could ever fill that void that Sam left. And then he was just like the youngest, but not the maknae, if that makes
Right.
any sense.
And he's cute, but he's not like adorable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how he is adorable, but he doesn't have that like.
I know what you mean.
know?
You know what I do live for though? Whenever he goes to like the center to like get the attention and everyone's like obsessed with him in those moments, that's what like really keeps me alive.
Lets you sleep at night.
It lets me sleep at night because really I do suffer on his behalf. My empathic self cannot handle.
It's like 2 a.m. You're in your bed and all of a sudden your eyes shoot wide open. Dino.
Basically though.
And then you're like, oh wait, no. That one time that they like
they went on its live and he went in the middle and he started dancing and they were all like, yes. So he's fine. And then I go back to sleep at 3:30 a.m. Yeah, that's basically what happens.
Also, the fact that he was able to successfully do the knock challenge with, I don't know, Cheon
Yeah.
is
Agreed.
shows his talent because
He's so good.
you have to be a little bit of everything to pull that off.
Yeah, agreed. He's so good. It's funny because, you know, he always talks about he's a visual, like the number one visual in 17. And then you're saying like his voice is so nice. But he was definitely meant to be in the performance unit.
He was.
100%. Like,
He was.
what a charismatic, amazing performer. Like, if he were any taller, he'd be intolerable. Like, personality-wise. Because, like, you know,
Yeah, he would.
once people are tall, like, on
That's
top
it.
of it, that's it.
That's
Like,
it.
you can't tell him shit. So, that's all he's missing. A couple of inches of the height, and then he would really be an insufferable person.
And you know, I guess we can come back to it, but I just realized that a lot of the 99 liners
Are shorter?
and they can serve girl group dances.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Isn't that?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's definitely a generational difference from prior groups and prior lines. I can see that. I see that. Yeah.
Because just off the top of my head, 3 come to mind from the ones that we're going to discuss.
Yeah. Agreed.
I wonder if it's in their blood.
Hey, something was in the water in the 97, so I guess whatever was in the water in the 99 was leaning girly.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the next one that we're going to just briefly talk about, just because I've been flirting with him for like 2 years at this point.
It's not flirting at this point.
But I just haven't dove, you know? I'm just kind of like puppied.
Okay, sure.
It's Hwiyoung from SF9. He got the looks. Let me tell you that much. He also has talent. I've seen him act in imitation, and I thought he did a really good job. He wasn't super cringy, and I think that was his first acting job too. And he wasn't really cringy. I believed him, even though, I mean, he was acting as an idol, and he is an idol, so it wasn't that much of a stretch. But sometimes even that can be quite hard.
No, we've seen people fail at that, so that's definitely commendable if it's the first time that he did it, for sure.
He's they call him the sub rapper from SF9, but I think he might be a little bit, I don't want to say underrated, but I feel like when it comes to SF9, and I might just be talking out of my butt, but I feel like when it comes to SF9, people pay more attention to Suho as a rapper.
I know nothing about SF9, so she's looking at me with a questioning face, and this is one of the people that I have no comments about because I really don't know anything. I know Taeyang and I know Damwon, and that's it. So
well,
sorry.
Personally, from the little that I know, it just feels like most people focus on Suho as a rapper. He does have the lead rapper, main rapper, like
vibe.
No, title.
Okay.
But I just feel like ever since I saw him in Kingdom with Bobby, and he didn't just flop over and fail, I thought that was pretty impressive because Bobby's talented as a rapper. Even if it's not, his music isn't everybody's cup of tea, especially his last release was a little aggressive. But in general, he's pretty talented and he's really good looking, and he has songs on Komka. And he had, oh my god, if you haven't checked his latest solo release, it's really good. It's called Drive. There's a 5 in there because you know how people try to make things cool, like
right
3
spelling.
Yeah, and it's pretty good.
Again, I know nothing. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're amazing. I believe Laura.
And I don't know if it's FNC or what, but there wasn't that much like promotions.
I'm sure it has
Which
to do with
kinda
FMC
sucks.
for sure. Go watch our episode on FMC. They
Please.
suck.
Yeah, they do. My poor son. Anyway, so the next one, I guess we can cover both Park Jihoon and Kim Yohan together-ish. They're both actors. I have watched a couple of their dramas, not the same drama, separate dramas. And at first I wanted to hate them both. I really did.
She spent so much time trying to hate people for what?
Because it's my bully personality. I tried to hate them because they were the male leads, and it bothers me when people are male leads. Like, I just have a thing for second male leads. So like when I saw them, I was like, ugh. But I fell in love. They're actually really good. They're really good actors. I don't particularly know much about Park Ji-hoon's like solo career as like a singer, but I know he's pretty popular in Korea because he was part of 101. And he just has that thing about him. He's also very short. And I think if he was taller, he would be insufferable.
There we go. Because
he does act really well. I don't think maybe for Korea he's conventionally attractive,
right?
But internationally, I don't think he is. But he's really talented. Fun fact: he could have debuted in Astro if it wasn't for a knee injury. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. It would have been 7.
And he had to wait a long time to debut because Astro debuted in what, 16?
16, yeah.
And he didn't debut until like what, 18, 19? That's 3 whole years when he was already ready to. Well,
poor thing.
Guess nobody can beat Bangchan in that sense.
He's so funny.
And then Yohan from Way. He is also really talented. Again, I wanted to hate him, but I couldn't because his talent won me over. His talent and his face. It is so freaking cute. Oh my God.
Yeah. When Laura told me the list of people that she wanted to cover in today's episode, I said, okay, I can talk about like 3 of them and Yohan because he has a cute face. That's literally all I can say. I mean, I've seen his like appearance on Jesse's Show Review and stuff like that. So I've seen him. Every time I see him on Instagram, I send it to Laura or she sends it to me because it's just like we have a moment with him. But that's literally all I know. Like, I'm sure he's very talented. I just haven't like looked into him in depth, but yeah, he's really cute.
Again, I mostly know him from his acting, which he's very new as an actor, very new. But I think he also is not that cringy to just have debuted in like 2020 as an actor.
I think the group's name is pronounced Wii.
Fucking cringe.
I just thought about that because I think I heard it somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Sorry if we mispronounce it.
We don't know.
Love you. Again, I mostly know him as an actor, which again is kind of crazy because he literally just debuted in like 2020. But he has the charisma,
uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Yes,
yes, he does.
To be a really good idol. He also can pull the non-cute concept. He did a cover of Monsta X, Love Killer, with like a couple of other idols, and he did a really, really good job.
I believe you.
He's cute. Also, he used to be a national taekwondo athlete. He's very talented in that sense too.
Athletic and everything. I love that for him.
There's this video of him mentoring this tiny little child in taekwondo. Yes. If you haven't seen it,
it's so cute.
Please watch it. It'll change your life.
It's so, so cute.
I think it comes up in my feed every so often, and I die.
Yeah, we have to talk about it every time. It's so cute.
It is.
So, so cute. So next up, we have, like Laura said, all of Ateez except for 3 members. Because Songhwa, Hongjung, and Jongho were all born not in 99, but the other 5 are all 99 babies. So we have Yeosang, we have San, we have Mingi, we have Wooyoung, and Yunho. So these 5 motherfuckers are incredibly talented. Like, wow. Ateez, there is no dead weight in Ateez at all. But these 5 truly do amazing things within the group, each in their own right. Yeosang, king of the lizards, alien, president of the world, parading as a human. Muscle, baby girl, right?
That's how
extraordinaire.
He got to me. Oh my god.
He's just perfect. Like, and Laura has been in a Yeosang era.
I have.
She's been living her best.
The thing is, I have a thing about idols who look exactly the same in every single photo card that comes out. It started with Jin. Jin gives you the same thing every time, and you know what? You want it every single time. You thank him every single time for it. Woozy's the same. It's either wohe or just like a cute little smile. That's it. You're not going to get more. And Yeosang is pretty much the same because he's a lizard king.
Yeah.
And I love it. I want them all. Like, I can't help it.
And ever since she heard him talking about McFlurries, I haven't had peace.
There's this video. I need to show it to you. Please ignore.
We'll add it.
Oh.
So here's the clip.
I like ice cream, so when I order in McDonald's, and I must order McFlurry.
Oh,
yeah.
So what flavor? Yeah, what flavor you like?
Oreo.
Laura has it saved to her favorites, by the way.
Literally, I can get to it. I'm there.
Like, it's already there. So he mentioned how, like, he loves McFlurries.
He loves ice cream. He loves ice cream.
He loves ice cream. He loves McFlurries. And Laura hasn't known peace. And then because of that, I haven't known peace either since that day.
Oh, it was so cute. It was an English interview. I don't remember for what magazine. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The point is, it changed the course of history. Like, McDonald's, he mentioned McDonald's by name, should pay him thousands and millions of dollars for the promo, because what do I want? A McFlurry from McDonald's.
Hey, it works. Look at the advertising. Look at it. Just look at it.
He's so perfect.
Yeah.
There's also this video. I don't remember what it is that Ateez did for their bouncy comeback that they were performing outside.
Yeah.
And he was wearing this shirt that
muscle tank.
It was like, grrr, but then you see his face. Oh my god,
beautiful, stunning,
and perfect. The hair with like the little clips. I die.
And he flexed for one of the fans, and like she touched his arm, like, girl, and he got so close to them. No pores, just perfection. It's incredible. So that's Yeosang.
Sorry.
San, he's the one that brought us into Ateez.
Yeah.
When we saw the video for like the firework reels or TikTok or whatever, and he was doing his whole like fuckboy like shake hand and moving around and like with his abs fully out or half out with a crop top, like that entire, like, I'm sure he didn't eat for that entire comeback because he was lean and cut. Like,
oh, poor man.
It was wow. But that's what caught our attention, and I saw that and I was like, Laura, have you heard of these Ateez people?
And I was like, no, but please do tell.
And then I don't know when I found out that it was Ateez. So, but you know, it was Ateez for a little bit, and that was cute. But thank you, San, for bringing me into Ateez and to Laura by default too. But yeah, so we came in during the fireworks era, thanks to San, and he at first gave me like rapper vibes, and then I heard him singing, and I was like, what in the freaking like year of the Lord is happening?
I personally think his voice is underutilized.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
I think, and don't get me, well, he's one of the people that we're going to talk about, but I think they use Yunho's voice way more than San's, and I personally prefer San's voice.
San has a very beautiful voice. He can go very high, and I think he's also very like subtle but impactful. Like, it's just weird because he has strength, but he also has like softness. Yeah, it's really weird how like he can really manage both.
I have seen them perform Turbulence live like about 3 million times, and his voice in that song when it's live, I just want him to sing the whole song.
Yeah, he really does have a beautiful like range, and he can deliver the interpretation of the song. Like, he really delivers the feeling of it. So that's what it is. Like, he really delivers a feeling. So
he really does.
We love San. San means mountain in Korean, by the way, which is like why his emoji is a mountain, and he's like, everything about him is just like literally a mountain. Like in every metaphor in your head about like that you think about mountains, like San just fits that for some reason. Recently he did a dance cover of an Imagine Dragons song, and he took his jacket off and he was wearing a bunch of fake tattoos, and I lived every moment of that video with my mouth like wide
he's not like Jimin or Taemin or Yeonjun that does like the feminine and masculine at the same time.
Right.
But he does have this strength, but also softness, not just in his voice, but in his dancing.
I think he just has really good body control.
No, that's true.
And he's just like, you know, the powerful moves, he can stop them at like a point where it just feels like there's some sort of like popping, locking methodology that's behind it, where he's really technical about his dancing.
Yeah, he is.
So it's beautiful to watch. So big fan of San, and thank you again for bringing us into Ateez.
Also, pores. Don't know them.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of them from like paparazzi, and all of them look great, but San looked flawless. It was
Facts.
ridiculous.
No pores.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't know what they are.
He really doesn't. Must be nice.
Can't relate. Not in this lifetime.
You know who also can't relate? Mingi. But that's why I love him. So Mingi is my bias in Ateez.
Yes, he is.
And he is perfect. He is perfect. Like, he has this weird personality that is literally perfection. He makes everything awkward, but just the right amount of awkward for me. I love him. He is a very talented rapper. And he has a really distinct voice that I think fits really well with all of Ateez songs.
Agreed. And also, for everyone listening, watching, Laura managed to fall in love with Mingi on his hiatus. He wasn't even around.
He wasn't
and
even
she
around.
still managed to find him and fall for him and ignore all the other 7 who were actually around.
That's
so I
true.
think that's commendable, and it should be mentioned today.
It's because he's perfect.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
I get that.
I don't know what to tell you.
No.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, how did I pick such great biases? I don't know. They just came to me.
Editing Kathy here. So, as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we shot this in person, which we never do because there are always technical issues, which unfortunately is why you're listening to me now. We lost and then recovered the first 30-ish minutes of footage, which is why the first 26 minutes have a visual glitch for those of you watching. And we also completely lost the part where we were introducing Yunho and had a whole rant about how it felt weird to talk about Yunho without our friend Alex in the room. So I guess thanks, Alex, for the witchcraft that wiped our recording, because what else could have possibly ruined our footage right when we got into your tree man? Anyway, this cuts into our convo about how the members all can't find a single flaw in Yunho. Enjoy. Every time that they do variety show segments, wherever they have to like talk shit about something that the other one did, or they have to like confront themselves about issues, they never know what to say to Yunho. They're like, you're too perfect. You're so beautiful that it hurts me. You are so nice that like I can't live. So the fact that 7 men are fully unable to come up with something negative to say about a tall, beautiful, nice human that lives with them and like they see every side of him is like, wow, that's when you know that you're just built different.
Especially because as trainees with KQ, I'm sure they didn't have as much money as trainees from bigger companies. So I'm pretty sure their beginnings were very beginning-y in terms of like dorm arrangements. So if they're able to still not saying, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Because
living together, we know that it's super difficult, and especially in close quarters and with everything being shared and no privacy, no personal space, like tensions can rise pretty high. Yeah. So even Jongho, who is the maknae and is probably like the least sensitive on the outside member, he loves, like everyone loves Yunho. There's literally nothing you can say about him that is not positive.
And he debuted as an actor. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. I don't know what time is. And he did
construct.
100%. Thank you. And he did a really good job. He was a second male lead. The script was cringy, so that wasn't his fault. But he did the best he could with the cringiness of the script. Because if you guys have seen Imitation, you know what I'm talking about. It was a weird storyline from like his love in Imitation was a weird storyline that could have, if portrayed by anybody else, been like the fuck. But because of it was him and his personality or his like artistry, it worked out, because it could have been really bad.
I feel that.
Really bad. Like ugh, red flags, really bad. But anyway,
Tribute to Alex. We love your tree with you, and we love that you love your tree. She calls him her tree, by the way.
He's very tall.
Context.
And if you want to know more about Ateez, we actually did an in-depth episode, which I think we should update one of these days.
We should do another update. So if you guys want us to talk about Ateez now, almost 2 years after our first episode, which is called Atiny, like a teeny bit of Ateez. Haha, we're so clever. Let us know if you want part 2 of that. We will probably wait until this comeback that is happening in December, and then we'll jump in with our updated opinions, some of which you've already heard today, with 5 of the members out of freaking 8 being 99 liners. That's freaking crazy. Yeah. And well, from one upcoming comeback to a current comeback, we are in Stray Kids comeback season currently. And the 99 liner of my life, my dreams, my everything is Manuel So Changbin de la Fuente, or, you know, So Changbin for the homies. So I am very unhinged, guys. I think most people by now, if you've been listening to us for a little bit, you know how unhinged I am. So there are certain people that can bring out my unhingedness to like higher degrees. And So Changbin is one of them. He is probably like, okay, my first will always be Suga. I don't think I will ever not love Suga the way that I love him as like my alt, right? And then Jungkook is like my second one, but he's like unofficially second one. So like really my second one, like outside of BTS, and if I'm just going ranking, is Changbin. Like he means everything to me. And I have this thing for short kings, clearly, as based on a spreadsheet that I'm working on of my bias line. And Changbin, I think, is the shortest one of all the
He's
short
basically
kings.
Woozy size. Which,
No,
if
he's
you
not.
don't know, it's 5'4".
No, Changbin and Woozy are not the same height. I don't care what you say. You keep gaslighting yourself. They're not the same height. And it's not that I have a problem with it. I literally just don't believe that they're the same height. But it's just different. I've seen Changbin next to Dino.
JYP is very, very, very adamant
About lying about heights.
Yes.
I know.
I think they do everything to make sure that specifically Stray Kids looks taller than they are.
Probably. I think I agree with like the way that they style them, and Changbin is always wearing like big stompers. But I'm saying in relation to the people that I've seen them with other groups, I think Woozy's slightly shorter, maybe an inch or two than Changbin. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, my short king, my rapper extraordinaire, one of the fastest rappers in all of South Korea, a Leo personified, because me and Leos, it's a problem, guys. Some astrologer, please come help me. I'm a Scorpio. He's a Leo. You know, the skater boy. What more do I say? It's just meant to be.
Oh, wow.
You know?
I like that.
Poetic. Me and my poetry. Avril Lavigne, thank you for coming for the girlies years later. And, you know, he's an amazing singer, too. Like, he can actually carry a tune. He appeared on The Masked Singer and didn't make a fool of himself, which is quite a challenge for a rapper.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's talented. He's an amazing dancer. And listen, popping during Maniac era, that was his move. He owned it.
A cultural
he
reset.
invented it. Like, everybody who did TikToks with like ranking the best popping moments of Changbin throughout that era, thank you. I saw them all. I saved them all. I watch them all whenever I'm depressed. It cures my depression.
Respectfully, me too.
I will kill you. So I'm very toxic. Aside from being unhinged, or I guess that's part of my unhingedness.
If you guys don't know, I think we might have mentioned it earlier in like episodes from earlier this year. We went to see Stray Kids live.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god,
Girl.
Oh my god.
I know he heard me. I was screaming from the suites, because we got a suite, and we were in the back. But I know that man heard me. I know he heard me, because I lost my damn voice. I lived my best life. Wow, what a great night.
At one point, I'm sorry, I'm just remembering. At one point when he first came out, she literally went to the floor and couldn't live for like a good 5 minutes.
And what about it? Like, that was me expressing
It was a
my
good time.
ultimate feelings in the moment. You know, did he knock me out with his voice? Yes, like he is that powerful. That man's throat, I swear to God,
No, it's
mine
true.
could never.
No.
The way he screams and like is so loud, and everyone around him is like, "Sir, my eardrums are about to suffer and collapse with your screams." And I would literally like lose my voice from just like raising it a little bit during, I don't know, like a traffic stop, I guess, is the only time. Or at concerts, I guess. That's a better example.
I get a lot of content for my friends' biases on TikTok because every time I see something, I just send it over to them. So I get a lot of Changbin, like people analyzing Changbin's rapping. And not only is he a fast rapper, but he's also a very interesting rapper.
Yes.
He can... I'm musically challenged, is what I should say. I'm musically challenged. But the people that know... and they do these like investigative TikToks. It's so interesting to see what he can do with the rapping.
He is so diverse in his rapping style, his cadences. Like sometimes he does really complex beats that seem like they're off of the beat, but they're so consistently off of the beat that they're on their own beat. And then he does like what he did now with La La La, a very simple cadence that is just very effective and very like pop, pop, pop. Like, God, he literally, what can't he do? And he's such a good like writer. And Han himself, another Stray Kids member, another member of Three Racha, has said how like, you know, Bangchan is the producer, the overall like person who really has the vision. But he said Changbin is a genius. And that coming from Han is huge praise.
Because Han is a genius himself.
Exactly. Genius recognized genius, real recognized real. What more do you want? So, yeah.
And he's one of those 99 liners who can kill a girl group dance.
Oh my God.
Kill it.
Changbin,
literally.
Wow. Like the
Change
way
2023.
2023 has been revolutionary for the girl group era because coincidentally I started my girl group era this year. And then Changbin was like, oh, my girl needs to see some girl stuff. Okay. And he did literally every girl group comeback that has been like happening this year. Even when they weren't promoting, this man was dancing girl group choreos that were, again, not during his cycle.
Because the girl groups would go find him.
Yeah.
So he could make their dance viral.
Yeah.
Literally like that. And not just because he's more popular than them. No, it's because he's really good at doing these dances.
So good. Like he commits to it. He doesn't like harp on looking masculine and like not doing moves a certain way because of his body type. Like, no, he fully goes for it. He's so committed to everything. Like guys, again, he's my number 2. I wouldn't be pawning someone off if he wasn't talented, perfect, and everything. So
it's true.
There you go.
I have to agree. So moving from Stray Kids, we are entering NCT territory. For those of you that don't know, I have been up NCT's
light stick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the past couple of months. Why? I don't know. I'm just there. I'm living there. I don't have a mortgage because even in my wildest dreams, still can't afford it.
But NCT does live rent free in your head. Hey.
It does. So moving on to NCT, one of the biggest 99 liners to ever 99 line, Mark Lee.
Wow.
He has debuted 20 million times. For good reason.
Everybody wants him.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a piece of him.
He's one of those members that looks really good in any ensemble that they put him. He doesn't overdo it or underdo it. He does just what everyone is serving and doing it well. Like, I don't know how to...
Yeah, no, he can dance, he can rap, he can sing. Well, not according to someone, half of MIA2K, not Laura though, that during a episode about aces, we discussed what Mark can and cannot do. Listen, I love him. I love Mark Lee unconditionally. I just don't buy his musicality that much. Like, it just doesn't resonate with me. But putting that aside, like, I know he does it well within the group. Within the group, he really knows how to like leverage his skill set. So there's just something about him that he really just meshes well with people. I think his biggest skill is his people personality.
I think so too.
Because the way everyone in every single group subunit, the entire all of SM company, and the rest of the world is obsessed with him.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen.
No.
Like, how many idols can you name that have that many people obsessed with them? And like, I literally don't think I've seen anyone hating on him ever. Like, no one has made a negative comment about Mark Lee since he was born, ever.
I mean, I'm sure, like everyone, he has his things, but for the most part, he's
I think I'm the only one who has said anything.
No, I'm sure. And he's just very much loved because of his talent. Like, SM really, I don't know what they did to get Mark, but they won the lottery because he can do it all, and they make him do it all. There's videos of him during NCT concerts, and I'm not talking about like the subunits, just like NCT as a whole with like the 20 members. And he's running around the stages because all the other members have some sort of like, maybe except Haechan, have like a break between songs because they're doing, 127, Dream, Wavy. But Mark is pretty much always there.
In every like, Mark was the person who was on stage the longest time at the NCT concerts a couple of months ago. That's stamina.
Yeah.
Because that concert was like 5 hours long.
It was.
And Mark was on stage for 4 of those 5 hours. Yeah. So
he is talented, likable, has a really good personality for entertainment. Like, he's really literally perfect.
Even the fan service, like the fan calls, I hate watching fan calls. Yeah. It's Same. One of the content that I literally will skip faster than almost anything else that comes up on my feed. But for some reason, watching some Mark fan calls is not bad just because he makes it so fun. It's like there's genuine conversation. He's obviously one of the best English conversationalists in the entire K-pop industry. So like whenever he talks to international fans, it's not just about the language. You have to have dominion of the culture, and he has dominion of both cultures. So he's just, man, he's such a breath of fresh air in the entire like K-pop industry. And he's like, he doesn't showcase himself as someone who's like too cool for school. No. Like, he literally is genuinely invested into things and genuinely laughs at everything people say, like from his heart. Like, he just really thinks shit is funny. Yeah. And that's just what sells, honestly. Authenticity is really, really what he has. He did in droves.
A recent episode of the Daebak show, and I guess I hadn't heard him talk for that long before, but I came out really impressed about him as a person. He wasn't afraid to talk about things that might have been a little bit touchy for some other people. He wasn't afraid to just show his maybe vulnerable side. Yeah. And like Kathy said, he was so eloquent. Yeah. For someone that hasn't lived in like Canada for a very long time, his English dominion is so good. Woo, mine is not, and I live here. Mark, come teach me.
Mark, please, immediately come join. We did announce you as a third host of MIA2K, so please make good on that. April Fool's joke, sponsored by Laura. So yeah, Mark is Mark. If you don't love him, we don't want you.
Really, we really don't. He's not. I know he's a bias.
He qualifies. Like, is he my bias? Is he my husband? Whatever he wants to be, he can be. Like, he's my bestie, really is what I qualify him as. But I think he's the first of my bias line, and he'll never leave. Now, is my bias line like 75 people deep? Yeah, but what about it?
It's fine.
Did I stutter? I don't think so.
So the next 2 NCT members who are 99 liners are actually from the subunit Wavy. It's, I can't pronounce his name. And I've literally been listening to his name so much because I have been watching so much SM content, especially NCT, but I'm still not good at it because that's just who I am.
Okay, let's just say Xiaojun.
That sounds good.
And that is going to be our best effort for today, and we hope that you guys appreciate it.
So sorry, I love you. He is also he is talented. He is a singer. He can also literally kill any girl group dance, period. Done. He was another one that did the knock challenge with Cheon, and he looked so good.
Incredible. Like, no notes.
I've mostly watched NCT 127 content, but the little content that I have watched for Wavy, or like when there's 20 of them together, he is also extremely likable. He has a really good personality for being an idol too, which is really important when your job is being an actual idol.
He's an all-rounder entertainer, and he's one of the co-hosts of the show. So it's just, I think his talents are shining in literally every way right now.
I just watched today, I rewatched the Wavy Puppy interview, and there was a question that was like, rap. And they asked if they could come up with a freestyle, and he was the first one that did something, and he's not even a rapper. He was just being funny, and it worked. Like,
look at that.
Quick wit. I love that.
People who are confident and unafraid are just it.
It really is. Hendery is also a 99 liner. He is also extremely talented. He is a rapper within Wavy and NCT. He was scouted in the streets initially. So because he wanted to be a comedian, which is kind of...
That's very funny
to me. And he got casted in the streets. He didn't have any interest in being like an idol before he started training. So he actually learned everything that he does now while he was training, which I always think is very impressive.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have talent in your nature, I feel like even if you train, something will show up where it's like, I guess technically they're good, but there's something missing. And I don't think he's missing anything.
I don't know that much about Hendery, so I can't make that many comments about him. All I know about him is that he was supposed to be in that subunit with Lucas for Jalapeno that we never got. And that's a great segue, actually, to go into Lucas.
Actually, I was just going to say, wow, you did that well.
Look at me.
Look at you.
Look at God. So Lucas is another 99 liner, another SM gem. So what happened with Lucas was... He was a fuckboy. As we guess. He got caught is what I'm getting at. Okay. He did fuckboy things, as we assume most idols do.
Yeah.
But their NDAs are better, or they just are smarter about what they're doing. And Lucas simply got caught. Yeah. That's really what happened. He got caught with basically like bamboozling girls into thinking they were his girlfriend, being an international playboy, getting them to buy expensive gifts for him, and all these things. Well, allegedly. Everything is alleged. There was investigations. People came out with dossiers about whether or not he was actually talking to the girl based on the timestamp on her text, because he was on a plane at that time. Like, there was, like, the fans went crazy. On both sides. Like, people immediately believe the victims, if we're gonna call them that, of his actions, and people also fought for him to be proven innocent of the accusations. At the end of the day, we didn't really get a conclusive response from SM on the matter. He was put on hiatus. He was supposed to drop a song with Hendery called Jalapeno on August 25th, 2021. And that song never came out, which is a shame, because I'm sure it would have been fire.
It was fire. I feel it in my bones.
I know, jalapeno, hot. Like, I can just hear the fucking greatness of the song. Like, I can just feel it in my bones. Please, someone at SM leak it at some point, because we need it. Like, it's time.
They really do. They even did a music video. Like, literally.
There was a whole concept behind it. The pictures were amazing. Like, it would have been it. That song would have been it. Song of the year 2021. I haven't even heard it. Okay. Anyway, Lucas, ever since August 25th of 2021, went on hiatus. We didn't hear much from him for about a year. Maybe he posted a story here or there. Yeah. He apologized and took responsibility for the scandal on his Instagram. And again, radio silence for most of the time. Yeah. We get to this year, 2023. February 1st, Chris Lee, who is the ex-CEO of SM and Lee Suman's nephew and nemesis, decided to soft launch Lucas back into our lives, posting him to his Instagram feed. He posted 2 pictures, and I got my whole life from those posts. Our chat went apeshit when this happened. It was a moment, because it was like, okay, this means that Lucas is coming back. Again, at this point, it's been over a year and a half. They never said he was leaving any group. They never said he was leaving the company. So we didn't know if he was like alive or dead at this point. But nothing had been announced in terms of him being part of any of the lineups that he was part of, which at the time was NCT, Wavy, and Super M. So he was part of 3 different groups.
He was very, very used.
Very, very used because he's a fucking fuckboy. And then he acted as a fuckboy, and then there was a fucking problem. In the West, none of this shit would have literally made any blip in the news or anything. But of course, because netizens are netizens, whatever. I'm angry still about it.
I feel like in the US, for good or for bad, people can easily separate the artist from their art.
Too easily.
So sometimes it's for bad purposes.
Yeah.
Because we feel like they shouldn't separate them. But in something like this, just because he's not allegedly a good boyfriend or man doesn't necessarily mean that his art should.
Like, but again, it just like depends on the accusations. Like Chris Brown, I will never hear his music again.
Never.
I can't support him. Ugh. I just saw that he won an award recently. Why is he
still
invited
relevant?
Like to anything? That man has proven time and time again that he's a disgusting human being. And I don't care how fire his music is. I will not give him any fucking listens or royalties. Like that's just my stance. Lucas, like some girl was stupid enough to buy him a watch. Like that's on you, mama. Like take some responsibility and accountability for what you do. Like if you're stupid, then fuck around and find out. Like I'm sorry, this is not a victim situation. Like none of the accusations were about any like serious thing. It's like, oh, he told me that he was gonna be with me, and like, bro, grow the fuck up. It's a bunch of little girls that are trying to get their way into idol life with money.
Buying them.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, your intentions were not genuine either, and you should have fucking known better. Watch a drama or something. I don't know.
Fall for the second male lead.
Yeah, you don't have to go for like the actual fuckboy of the group that looks like a fuckboy and acts like a fuckboy.
Literally, the only reason he's put in all of these subunits is because of
how
his looks.
He looks.
Yep.
Like literally, someone prove me wrong. Someone from SM come and talk to me and tell me that's not the reason why you put Lucas in everything. Because I'm sorry, listen, Love Talk was a fucking cultural reset, and that song had me in a fucking chokehold all of 2021.
It still has me on a chokehold.
It's still to this day, it's a no skips. I will never skip that song.
Never.
And it's not because of Lucas's amazing rapping.
No.
Like I love him, adore him. I want him back with his not amazing rapping and his not amazing dancing. Why? Because he looks the way he looks. And it's not that I'm saying that I'm like, what's it called? Superficial, yeah. But it's just like when people capture you, that charisma that he has is very captivating to me. Like he was born for the stage. He was born to entertain. He was born to be on TV. And if not, God wouldn't have given him that face. So anyway.
And the height.
Yeah.
See,
and the
he's
ears.
insufferable because he's tall.
Exactly. There you go. Points were made. The only actual insufferable that got canceled for being too tall. He got too tall for his life. Anyway, so back to the point. After Chris Lee posted him and soft launched him on Instagram February 1st, we got excited because we were like, okay, Lucas is coming back. But then Hybe and Cacao got into the fucking fight of the century over SM shares. That's a whole other mess that we're not going to get into right now. But as a consequence of that, Chris Lee was no longer CEO of SM. And I think with him went down the plans for Lucas's return, because I think he was probably one of Lucas's biggest advocates.
Yeah.
So once he was out of the decision-making process and room, I think they just basically were like, whatever Chris wanted to do is not happening. Yeah. Lucas, bye. And there were a lot of fans that were very adamant about him not coming back. And they basically got their way because in May of this year, Lucas posted on his Instagram that he had decided to leave Wavy and NCT as to not cause them any harm because of his scandals. Right. That was the first clarification that we got, again, since August 25th of 2021. So that was like the longest limbo I think all of K-pop had ever really, well, not all of K-pop, but, recent K-pop years had witnessed. And so very sad to lose him in both Wavy and NCT. There were rumors that he was getting cropped out of pictures from like the own members in Wavy. So it seems like they didn't want him back. And if that's the case, I am sorry because, again, I'm pretty sure all of them are doing the exact same thing he was doing. He just got caught.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them because, generalizations are never good. Yeah. But I do think a good amount, like, you guys, idols are the most beautiful people. Like, perfect. Their bodies are incredible because they have to be. Like, they literally live off their image. And you're going to tell me the hottest people alive are not fucking around and finding out? I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
I don't either. It's definitely not happening. Like,
no. It's just people being naive and people wanting to live their Delulu. And, you know, the Delulu is the Solulu, but maybe just for us in the West. I don't think Asian fans, based on like things that we've heard about how Luhan lost 800,000 fans from Weibo when he has announced his relationship, or all the fucking protest trucks that get sent around every other day for just stupid shit.
Hype had some girls in the choreography. Are you fucking
or
kidding me?
Like Joshua's Portia and his alleged girlfriend. Like, y'all can't handle literally life. So I guess, yeah, you can't be Delulu unless you can handle life. And then the rest of us are gonna keep. We all lived through Justin and Selena, and we were happy for them. Like, hello,
my life.
Like, let them live. We said this, I think, at the 2 weeks ago episode. Artists need to live life so that they can write good music. Yeah. Well, no one in SM is writing their own music, but that's besides the point.
Hey,
sorry, not sorry. Anyway,
wow.
After announcing that, casually too. After announcing that he was leaving both Wavy and NCT on June 7th, the LYSN account, which is like a sub of Dear You Bubble, announced that Lucas was opening his Bubble channel on June 7th of this year, which is like, okay, so he is kind of coming back. Like, he's not like completely fired. He's around. So I didn't join. I don't have Bubble. I've never joined Bubble, but if I were to join one, I would join his, because I need to know things and I need to know how active he is. They had this picture of him in like blonde hair and like this whole, like, I don't know, Prince, like Frozen Elsa, but like Lucas Prince era for the picture of the Bubble thing. I wonder if that was recent or it was something old that they already had. But it made me think like maybe potentially he could be like coming back or something soon.
To bleach your hair for nobody to see though.
Exactly. Yeah.
That hurts.
And then the other thing that happened was, so Super M, if you guys don't know, is this like Avengers style unit of male idols that SM put together with members of Wavy, NCT, and EXO. Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Wavy, NCT, EXO, yeah.
And Shiny.
Oh my god, Taemin, I love you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was like a minor blip. We both remembered at the same time. So that super group, Lucas is part of it. And we were supposed to get a comeback from Super M this year. Because so the last time that we heard of Super M, or we saw them, was 2021, before Baekhyun and Taemin enlisted. So while they were gone, obviously we couldn't get any Super M content. So with Baekhyun and Taemin coming back, and before Kai was supposed to leave, we were like literally SM teased a Super M comeback this year.
They did.
But then SM also decided to fumble the entire fucking bag with Kai's enlistment bullshit. And so he was forced to leave way earlier than he was supposed to in his like schedule. And so with, I guess, that situation, SM was like, well, I guess we can go another couple years without announcing anything for Super M. So we don't know if Lucas is still part of Super M or not, because I was not part of his announcement. His announcement only covered NCT and Wavy. And so all we know is maybe at some point between Kai getting discharged and Taeyoung going in, we'll find out if Lucas is still in Super M or not. We'll see if they decide to come back or not. But literally this situation made it so that when SM decided to build their Avengers girl group, they did not make it a fixed unit. And so if any of the girls in Got the Beat, which is their girl group version of Super M, decides to fuck around and find out, SM can just be like, oh, we told you guys this wasn't a fixed unit. We can move anyone that we want to move and bring someone else in. Yeah. That's not what Super M is meant to be, though. No. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think it can be, because people already expect the group. I feel.
Yeah, that's Super M. Like, they literally got contracted by like a bank in the UK to do a fucking commercial song, which was actually pretty cool.
It was really good.
So yeah, anyway, all that to say, recently looked into Chris Lee's Instagram account and saw that his soft launch post from Lucas had been deleted. So with him being out, his post being gone, and Lucas still being pretty radio silent on social media, except for like random posts every 3 months or something. We don't know what is going to happen to him, but we hope
It's good.
that he can have some sort of career, because his faults don't amount to the punishment in my eyes.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I miss Lucas.
She does.
Mm.
And last but not least, terrible segue, but here we are.
That's fine.
Last but not least,
Another tall boy who is not yet insufferable.
he isn't, but because there's a taller boy in the group. Hey,
We have my other bias in this episode, Yeonjun of TXT. So this 99 liner is the official 4th gen It Boy as peddled by Hybe. Because Laura doesn't really agree with the 4th gen It Boy. There's many 4th gen It Boys, honestly. Like, I think for sure from this conversation, well, Hyunjin wasn't a 99 liner, but Hyunjin is 100% an It Boy. Wooyoung is 100% an It Boy. I think it could be said that San is also an It Boy.
Yeah.
There's many It Boys, so there doesn't have to just be one. But Hybe
has done its work.
did the damn thing.
They got the money.
They got the golden maknae and they got the 4th gen It Boy. And
Yeah,
they made us sure that everyone called him that. In the industry, in the international sphere, everyone knows that Yeonjun is the 4th gen It Boy. Because every single audition every month while he was a trainee, he came in at the highest scores. And he's really just honestly amazing. Like,
he really is.
his performance, his dancing skills, everything. I wouldn't say he's the best singer, but he can do the thing when he needs to do the thing. So yeah, I really, really like watching Yeonjun on stage. It's very enjoyable to watch him perform. He also got to be the host of Inkigayo for a year, which I think was also a good role for him. Because again, he got to do all the challenges with all the other idols and show that he too is a girl group choreo extraordinaire. And on the taller side, au contraire from everyone else that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So I really love Yeonjun. I actually watched, we covered this in last week's episode for the variety shows, but I watched all of To Do, which is TXT's variety show. And it's so funny because this week there was a tweet that some girl told Bumgyu, like, oh, I watched To Do, and Bumgyu was like, that's not who we really are, trying to cover his tracks because he is fucking obnoxious and annoying, and I love him. And that, like, To Do is what made me realize that I had given birth to him. So just imagine the level of delusion here. But anyway, Yeonjun is really funny in To Do as well. There's like a mix for him. Like, here's the thing with the variety shows and the idols, like we talked about, they get to show a different side of themselves. So Yeonjun's not necessarily the best with To Do because there's episodes where he gets so fucked, but he does like give it his all, and he is very entertaining, and he is very like funny. He does have that quality that he can activate the funny whenever it's needed, and he does it very well for the entertaining side. So I do think that he does deserve to be one of the 4th gen It Boys. And he is the Hwiyoung of the group, which means the oldest. So he is, I think, a good support for Subin as a leader. And he's my bias, so that's that on that.
I think he shines the most as a performer when he's on stage. You can't really look at anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, TXT has a lot of good performance, in my opinion. But when he's on stage, tell me who else you're looking at.
Well, no, Subin has his moments.
I was going to say Subin is my bias, so my eyes usually go towards him. But there's something about Yeonjun that, like, you just can't help but go back to him.
I'll give you that. You know why? Because during the episode of the Hybe family picnic with Na PD, when Yeonjun was still in the dancing category, only like he was getting the attention. Yeah. But once he didn't know the dances anymore and he got kicked out, Subin got to shine. Right. So I do agree with you in that sense of like, when Yeonjun is on stage, you can't really look at anyone else. Like, you don't, because he just really goes out with like his performance. His performances are very powerful. Some people actually even criticize him because he goes too all out, which I fuck all of you, truly. And yeah, like he really is admirable in that sense.
But he's from the school of Kai. Like, it's...
Agreed.
Sorry, they're great. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if they're not giving it their all during performances, then what are they doing? That's literally their actual job.
Agreed.
Like, that is why we pay them the money we pay them. And I say we because we're the ones that are fueling their fucking careers.
Exactly.
The $87,000 shipping by High. But anyway.
Girl.
He's a really good performer. I mean, obviously I love Subin in my whole heart. But he just has this thing about him. He's like, he can be high fashion, but he can also just be a little dorky. Mm-hmm. And not a lot of people can have that duality.
No. Yeah, I agree.
He looks like an it boy. He is an it boy, but at the same time, he's so silly. He doesn't have what a lot of the third gen it boys had to do, where they couldn't show their silly side. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to see that he can do it all.
He balances the fuckboy really well too, because unlike Lucas, his fuckboy comes with, like Laura saying, like a little side of nerdy, or I don't know, I think it might be the influence of hanging out with Subin and Hyun and Kai too much. But yeah, there's just something endearing about him that, despite the fact that he can like lean fuckboy, it kind of reads almost like that's his stage persona, and that's not who he really is in real life. And he is mostly very humble. And, you know, he works really hard. So that's the thing. You can't fault someone for working hard. Right. You just have to give it to them. And I give it to him.
Same. I definitely agree. And in terms of 99 liners, I think we can confidently say that they deserve to be brought up into the spotlight, because we've talked about literally every aspect of being a K-pop idol.
Yeah, agreed.
Like every aspect. Group chat, there's 100% a group chat. Yeonjun, Changbin, and Wooyoung are friends. Like, not just, we think, no. They say it out to the world. They hang out,
they post pictures together, they do challenges together. Like yeah.
They want the world to know that they're friends because they're friends. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other 99 liners that have joined the group chat, but they're just maybe a little bit shyer on saying who their friends are, because that's what K-pop is. Yeah. But they look like they're fun. They're very talented.
You know, the other day on stage, Yeonjun went out of his way to like hug Dino when they were finishing on stage. So hopefully there's more of that coming with these new gens and these new performances, where we can let the idols be friends. And if someone has a scandal, we're not going to shun the other group for something that's one person, you know, did or is accused of.
And also, I would like to point out that people need to chill the fuck out.
Thanks for pointing that out. That's because, things to point out.
No, because here, listen, Linda, listen. The thing is, Yeonjun and Changbin posted a picture together.
Oh my god!
And let me tell you, these people love each other. They are putting their jobs on the line by showing that they're friends.
These pictures took years off of my life.
And the comments below are so gnarly and so disgusting. For what? Mind you, they love each other. Why are you being so toxic? Mind you,
I will call out Moas on this, because stays were chill about it, but Moas were the ones that were being toxic about on Yeonjun's post, being like, who is this ugly guy? Why are you hanging out with him? Why are you posing with him? Why are you trying to like get clout off of, like, the comments were so unhinged on the Moa side. Like, I did not want to acknowledge that I was a Moa that day.
I don't get it. People need to chill. Like, seriously, they obviously love each other. Like
they cater to us as fans in every way, shape, or form. Like, we cannot also dictate who they're friends with, who they vibe with. Like, it's just so unreasonable.
They did when Yeonjun was the MC, was it Inkigayo? Changbin was there for a comeback with Stray Kids, and you could tell that this man was so happy to see his friend there as an artist doing a comeback. Like, I want someone to look at me like Yeonjun looks at Changbin, period.
It was so cute. And there were like the height difference was height differencing.
Do not talk to me about height difference.
Mingi and Woozy entered the chat.
There is this picture Yes, but also there's this picture of Changbin at some like
The recording one?
no, the one where he went to an event because finally,
Oh, the Ferragamo one.
finally,
They're recognizing the fashion potential that my Changbin has.
Exactly.
Yes.
But he was at this event and he was standing next to an actor that was very tall.
No, he wasn't standing next to him. He did the picture at the stop and go. But they both did the picture at the stop and go. And you know now these stop and goes have the name of the brand. So people put the picture side by side to show just how like small Changbin is. And it gave me and her and I think everybody else an aneurysm.
It probably added, but at the same time subtracted about 50 years from my life because it, oh my God.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
So
He looked
perfect.
so good.
He
My buff king.
did.
My
You know,
buff king.
When people make fun of him for saying he's a visual, fuck you, he is.
Literally. Anyone who says otherwise,
Is
go get eye
wrong.
surgery.
Yeonjun doesn't have bad taste, people.
Exactly. And with that, finishing on that note, keep that thought in your mind. Let it marinate. And thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Maybe a little bit less unhinged than today, but hey, I know you loved it. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead. So please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale. Bye.